What is up, y'all? Within today's video, we're going to be talking about James Charles for multiple reasons. As you guys can tell by the title of today's video, it's a wild one. I am so sorry, but I feel like this is crazy. We're actually going to be talking about him for several different reasons. I wanted to make these videos separate, but then I was like, damn, recently I've been talking about James Charles a little bit on here, and I'm like low-key scared with YouTube because, you know, they're really, I feel like all social media platforms now are really, really sensitive. They put out a rule a while ago, I want to say maybe last year, maybe 2 years before that, if you continuously talk about the same person over and over again, like make multiple videos about them, then it could be considered harassment. So I was like, I don't want James Charles thinking I'm harassing him, but I just feel like there's multiple things to talk about. And y'all, I am so sorry, but this whole leaking thing, I saw the video on Twitter and we're going to talk about that later, but I'm just like, whoa, do not search James Charles on Twitter, okay? Because I was like, oh, wow, okay, that is crazy to me. But we're also going to be talking about a person on TikTok that was calling him out because apparently she purchased all of his products and he called her like a fat, like white woman or whatever the case is. I'm going to play the TikTok within today's video. And apparently she's really upset about that. A lot of people have a lot to say about James Charles recently because it seems like he really has been, I don't know a different word to use for like attack, you know, but like he is on live and he'll like attack people. But I'm so sorry. I'm just letting you guys know from the jump of this, like I see the people in the comments specifically that he's referring to, and people will say, you know, X, Y, and Z towards him, and then he pops off back to them, and then they call James Charles a bully, or they're saying that he's like attacking them. And I'm like, I am so sorry, but when I am on live myself and when people want to like talk trash to me, you bet your ass I'm gonna talk shit back. Like, I'm so sorry. Like, what world do we live in to where a person could go onto your platform, your space, where you're having a conversation with your, you know, supporters and viewers, and then they can attack you, but as soon as you attack them back, then you're the bully? I am so sorry. I don't live in that world. I feel like that's so delusional. If somebody comes at me sideways, then I'm going at them sideways. I just feel like that's kind of like the way it is, in my personal opinion. Also, before jumping into all the topics, I do want, in case you guys did not see my previous video before talking about James Charles and Shein knocking him off, I want to give a huge shout out to my boo Lily. Thank you so freaking much. Like, seriously, first of all, she like hooked me up, okay? But on top of that too, she let me know that the palette that I thought was like a Shein exclusive was actually sold on Amazon, and I got it for only $8. And this is it right here, y'all. So I am going to be doing a full comparison coming up soon. Y'all know recently it's been a little hard for me to do like makeup content because, oh my gosh, I just get so hot and sweaty, and it's just like I don't have like central air. It's literally a window AC, and it's just way too loud to film and do that. So hopefully like a cool day comes up soon so I can do this versus. This is what the palette looks like right here. Let me show you guys the inside in case you guys didn't see it, but this is literally it. I'm like super excited to do a oh my gosh, I don't have the painted palette right here. I guess I put it away in my drawers, but I wanted to show you guys side by side. If you guys have seen the palette, clearly this is a knockoff right here, and for $7.99 for 24 eyeshadows. I'm super curious to know how that works. So I will be doing a versus the James Charles painted palette versus this Land Moon Creatis palette coming up real soon. But let me shut up, let me get a drink of water, and then let's go ahead and get into these James Charles topics. So the first thing that I want to talk about is this woman who was on TikTok, and she had said that she purchased every single product from James Charles line because she does do makeup reviews on TikTok, and apparently he called her something out of, you know, I don't know, anger or whatnot. I'm gonna be real with you guys. I tried searching this up to try to have a better understanding of it because so I heard her side of the story, but I don't know exactly what she was referring to as far as like when James Charles called her these names, because I would find it to be really, really weird of him to like out of the blue bash this person and kind of attack her for like not, you know, saying anything. Like, I feel like, did she say something? Maybe he got her confused with somebody that did say something. So I am a little bit lost on the information here. If you guys know about this from TikTok, please let us know in the comments down below, because my whole understanding of it, because I have seen several videos of James Charles popping off on people, but you can literally see in the screen recordings where the people are talking trash to him and calling him all different types of names, and then he'll be like, oh, shut up, fatty, or whatever, you know what I mean? And I'm just kind of like, in my personal opinion, like, I don't know, like I said earlier, like if you're coming at me sideways, then I'm gonna come right back at you. And I just feel like that's totally okay. I don't think that people should be able to attack a person and then just because they have a platform of millions of people that, oh, they have to sit there and like take it. Like, no, that's not how it works. I'm so sorry. It's kind of like if you're out in the street and somebody walks up to you and like hits you and you're just, what do you just take it? Like, no, you're going to fight back, obviously. So I am a little bit confused as far as like where this is coming from, because I wouldn't imagine James Charles to just out of the blue like attack this woman, especially if she's like purchasing his products. Like, that just doesn't make any sense to me. Obviously, him as a business person, I do think that he does need to tread a little lightly on things like this, because when you're on your TikTok live and you have products linked right there, like, you don't want to come off too crazy, because obviously you want people to like like buy your products. Do you know what I mean? But I do have to say, like, some people enjoy the humor, they enjoy the clapback. Maybe that might make them purchase more. Maybe he found success in clapping back at people and like people purchasing his products from the TikTok shop. Do you know what I mean? Anyways, go ahead and check out this TikTok right here.
Today is going to be a different review of a different kind. Now, most of you guys know that I review makeup for fun. This is what I do. I'm obsessed with makeup. However, the other day I joined a live because some of my friends were contestants in that live. And some of you already know, just by me saying that, what the deal is. I have never personally purchased any of James Charles's products. Has nothing to do with him personally at the time. I just never tried it, never knew where to buy it. I didn't even know it was available on TikTok, guys, just to be quite honest. Now, I'm going to tell you, as most of you women know, I spend thousands of dollars a year on makeup. I do multiple reviews. None of these things are paid. This is all out of Wendy's pocket, nobody else's. Now, I'm going to tell you, I dropped an asinine amount of money before even paying attention to the live. I bought everything that he had on his live. At the beginning, before any flash sales or any of that stuff was done, I went in and placed multiple different orders so I could get free shipping and whatever the thing is. But I purchased it all. Now, here's going to be where my conundrum is going to be. This old white lady, you know, since I heard you say that, like, I don't know, 20 times during your live, bought your whole entire collection, James. And let's go ahead and take it one further. This old fat white lady purchased your whole entire collection. If you are going to be inside of a TikTok live, you don't win friends and influence people and gain customers by alienating 90% of your clientele. And first of all, talking about people's weight is not acceptable any way, shape, or form, because you do not know why they are fat, if they have health problems that cause it, or whatever the case may be. It's not acceptable, sir. And every single one of these products that I purchased from you, honestly, I should send it back, but I'm not going to even review your palette or any of this or any of these, because I did purchase them all, and multiple of your little painted palettes. I'm going to give them away to my loyal fans here on my page, because after hearing you speak, the way you talked about women, the way you talked about older women, the way you talked about fatties, I don't want anything to do with your brand.
Okay, after watching that back, I am a little bit confused, because I'm like, oh wait, maybe he had said like old fat white person, like, or old fat white lady multiple times within his TikTok live, and that kind of like triggered her, and she's like, what the hell, I purchased all these products, and I'm like, no longer gonna support the brand anymore because this did trigger me. This is where I have to ask the question, do you guys feel like him popping off and acting like this on TikTok live is going to affect his sales? Because obviously you have people like this woman right here who is saying that she is like obviously not going to be reviewing his products and like purchasing his products in the future and whatnot. And I have to say, this is where it's a really, you know, tricky slope to like walk down, because it's like, okay, I totally understand if somebody's popping off on you, pop off back on them, but obviously there are people out there who could definitely take it the wrong way. I am a little confused, because honestly, at first, I'm keeping it real with you guys, I think I had it misunderstood. I think that I thought that he directly said it towards her, but I guess maybe he just said it multiple times in the live, and then that triggered her. A lot of people actually on TikTok right now are trying to say that James Charles likes to act like HRH Collection. If you guys have not seen her before, I don't even know her name, but I just know like HRH clips. She does YouTube videos. I've never seen a YouTube video of hers, but I have seen many TikTok clips of hers. And honestly, y'all, I have to keep it with you guys. I find her to be so hilarious. And I'm like, I don't know if that that necessarily works for James Charles, especially being that he like has a younger audience. And on top of that too, I feel like being that you have a TikTok shop brand, or not a TikTok shop brand, but you have a brand that's sold on TikTok and your products are so easily accessible right there. Do you know what I mean? I'm kind of like, ooh, this may be a bad thing. In my, like, honestly, in my personal opinion, I feel like, you guys know me, like, clearly I don't ever get offended or bothered by anything. But I have to say, I'm curious to know your guys' opinion. Would you purchase from James Charles if you guys saw him popping off like this? Does that offend you? Does that bother you? Do you guys feel like a brand owner shouldn't be acting like that? Because I do have to keep it real, y'all. If we're like really being real, like, look at Jeffree Star. You know what? He's had his brand for so long, and he has popped off on people numerous amounts of times, and I feel like his brand is doing just fine. Do you know what I mean? But any which ways, I really do feel if I were him, I would take this into consideration and be like, oh, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't be popping off like this, because it could obviously leave a bad taste in people's mouth, and they may not want to purchase your product. And obviously, as a brand owner, you want people to purchase your product. Y'all, let's go ahead and briefly talk about this Twitter leak from James Charles. Y'all, the way I tell you, I was literally mortified when I saw this. I was like, oh my gosh, just scrolling through Twitter, which I'm always like sketched out to, like, you know, look at Twitter whenever I'm with anybody. And y'all, I was with my parents, like just chilling, and I'm like scrolling through Twitter, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I saw the full video. Like, honestly, it was like watching a train wreck, because I couldn't really watch away, because I was like, okay, like, hold on, I just have to see this. And y'all, like, everything was shown, okay? Like, he was literally showing whole, he was stroking his pole. I was like, whoa, this is like way too much. And honestly, I gotta keep it real with you guys. For some reason, I never expected to see that from like James Charles. Like, I felt like if it was like Manny MUA or like Jeffree Star, I'd be like, oh, okay, like they talk about all this type of stuff, so it kind of like makes a little bit more sense if they were to have a leak, you know what I mean? But from James Charles, I was like, damn. Now, of course, we don't have any context to this. We don't know if this was like one of his friends with benefits. We don't know if this was one of his Grindr hookups. We don't know if this is like a boyfriend, ex-boyfriend. We don't know any of this situation. Obviously, there is a lot of people that are going around saying that this is revenge porn. I don't know that, obviously, because there's been no statement made. James Charles did return back to TikTok, and he was so smart about this situation. He went to talk about his sponge, and apparently it is the #1 selling sponge on the TikTok shop, and he talked about washing the sponge, and everyone in the comment section was just kind of like, oh, okay, wow, like this is good, like be nonchalant, like don't worry about it, blah, 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 blah. Because I do have to say, and apparently this is a hot take, okay? I know that James Charles has a bad past, okay? I totally get that. Like, he's made some mistakes. I get that. But I think that sharing these videos is so incredibly wrong. I think that it is just, like, first of all, it's like literally illegal now. I think that they actually came up with a law of it. And on top of that too, I feel like even if it wasn't technically illegal, I feel like morally that's just so messed up, because obviously these are some things that he was doing in private with a person, and this person was screen recording it and then put it out there. And I just think that that's really messed up. And I know that there's a lot of people out there who are saying like, oh my gosh, this is wrong. And then there's so many comments back to them saying, oh, who cares? James Charles is this, this, and this, like screw him, blah, 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 blah. But I'm like, y'all, at the end of the day, that's still wrong. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like this is a completely like different category as far as like sharing things like this. And y'all, if you go on Twitter, I'm not encouraging you to do it, okay? Like, I'm not, but I'm just saying, like, if you were to go on there, you've seen that there's been thousands and thousands and thousands of people reposting this and talking about it. And I'm just like, like, I'm gonna be real with you guys. I low-key kind of feel bad for James Charles, because I just feel like this is kind of like embarrassing. But also, I have to say this too. I just got to keep it real. When is this fool going to learn his lesson? Like, you guys know so many times he got played by so many different people. He's been like catfished by people. Obviously, a lot of people have lied to him about their ages before. And there's just been so many situations that it's like, okay, why are you getting caught up with this? He's talked to several people before on like Grindr and other dating apps, and they've put screenshots out there. They put their DMs on blast. Whenever he flirts with somebody and somebody flirts back with him, they put it on blast. It's just kind of like, learn your lesson. Like, maybe don't do things like this if you don't want it out there. There was a lot of people that were like, oh, maybe he's like doing this and he leaked it himself because he's gonna like come out with an OF. And I was like, I don't really think that James Charles would do that, to be quite honest with you guys. Like, I feel like he's doing just fine with his brand and he's rich enough. Do you know what I mean? Any which ways, make sure you guys let me know your thoughts and opinions about everything. Let me know if you guys seen that video, because oh my gosh, y'all, don't go search it. Like, really don't go search it, because I just feel like, I don't know, I feel like that's kind of wrong. This, I was just scrolling through Twitter and it just popped up, y'all. Like, it literally just popped up. I was not searching for it, and you guys can check my search history, because I honestly, I'm not trying to be rude, but I would not search that. Like, I just wouldn't. I'm so sorry. But make sure you guys let me know your thoughts and opinions about everything. I hopefully will be doing a review / versus with this palette right here coming up soon. I'm not going to give you guys a timeline, because y'all, I'm literally sweating right now, and I've only been filming this video for like, I don't know, 15 minutes. And I'm like, oh my gosh, to do my eyeshadow, I'm going to be sweating so much. Anyways, let me shut up. Make sure you guys let me know your thoughts and opinions about everything. I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out, Girl Scout.